Hi there, my name's Rob and I'm the co-founder of Buveur. So we make superior quality pre-mixed bottle cocktails and they should be served as easily as a beer or a can of Coke. On screen is our current range. Hopefully you'll see something there that tickles your fancy. We're currently in single serve bottles and I'm going to tell you more about the brand and our future formats and the plans that we have for this raise. So I'm going to touch briefly here. I'm going to explain each of these things about why Buveur, the future strategy we have, what we've been doing and where we've got to, and how we're going to use the funds as we go out. But the initial thing to say is that we're looking for 400k for a 20% stake in the company. So these are our people and these are our partners. So you've got myself and Sam, the co-founders, and then we have a fantastic accounting partner in Nick Tag, a really solid PR agency called LDR, who've won all the awards you can name in drinks PR, and with a really solid team there who understand the product and like what we do. And we've also got a fantastic manufacturing partner in Brew and Bottle, who are accredited with salsa and everything else they need to supply national supermarkets and anyone you could shake a stick at. So a bit about the business. There's a lovely quote there from Selfridges, which is a really good summary of what we do. If you want to spend more time with your guests and less time in the kitchen, we're a lovely solution there for a quality product. So this is what we base our business on and how we make our decisions. Our decisions are made primarily around a connection. So we're trying to connect people over a really good drink, and we try to connect honestly with our suppliers and our partners. Our biggest supporters are the distillers and artisan producers who put things in our product, and we work very closely with them on everything we do. Then we have the experience. We are not something that you pull out the fridge in a can and drink on the tube home. We measure ourselves against a 5-star hotel bar experience, and everything we do we measure ourselves against that. So that's why we focus so much on experience. And finally, there's the environment. We don't greenwash, we don't nod towards it. We take it incredibly seriously. We do a lot of work to ensure that our packaging and our product is as environmentally friendly as possible. We could talk for a long time about the steps we take, but the headline is we don't use plastic. In every stage possible, we don't use it. Or if we do, we use closed loops so it goes back and gets recycled with the people who put the product in it. So we use zero plastic in our bottles and our secondary packaging, and even our tape is paper. So we take it incredibly seriously. This is our current range. As I said on the first picture, hopefully there's something there that tickles your fancy, but we make hotel bar quality cocktails, and it's not something that comes out of a can. It's the proper strength, it's the proper recipe, and it's the proper ingredients. And we're incredibly proud of what we use. So we tell you, unlike anyone else, we tell you what's in it. And that's one of the reasons we do things differently. That's one of our USPs. So we are against canned cocktails, which are not strong. They're not the correct recipes. The ingredients are a total mystery, and they've not got much brand equity either. So our USP is that we're not that. We're ready to serve. We're ready to be poured over ice and enjoyed exactly how you would in a hotel bar. And that's what we do differently. So what have we been doing? Our achievements to date with 64K, I think, speak for themselves. That 64K is from friends and family and loans from them, and it's got us this far, and we're really proud of our stockists. We focus on the best stockists we possibly can to prove that bottled cocktails can be something really special and not something humdrum and out of a can. So here we've got Selfridges, Dalesford, Harrods. We're trialing with the Ritz, Partridges, who are the grocer to Her Majesty the Queen. We've appeared at some incredible events like London Fashion Week and the Boat Race, all to prove that we are not your average cocktail in the can. We're the only bottle cocktail that Selfridges and Harrods will sell, simply because no one else comes up to scratch, and we're really proud of that. So a bit about the market opportunity. Ready to drink is the second fastest growing category in alcohol at the moment, and it's an incredibly exciting place to be. More and more brands are coming out every day, but it still lacks a really strong governing identity. And I think for us and for millennials and for people who choose their drinks by occasion, they are crying out for a really well-known, really trusted, really quality brand to lead the market in the way that Seedlip did for non-alcoholic spirits. So what's our vision and how are we going to measure ourselves against it? The vision is to be the benchmark, simply to be the best and the first name that you think of when you think of a premixed cocktail. You know, we are hoping, and we are in 5-star hotels, and we're hoping to be on planes, we're hoping to be at your next dinner party. We work very hard that means we are accessible on lots of different occasions and opportunities, but also that we are extremely high quality. And the reason we're raising, and one of the things we want to really measure ourselves against, is would you choose our sharing bottle of 500 ml that we want to release against a bottle of gin? And I'll talk a bit about later about how we're going to do that. So the milestones are to launch that sharing bottle into a national supermarket. We're in talks with all of the big ones and they know exactly what we're doing, and we're raising the capital to make the most of the opportunities we have with them to produce the 500ml bottle. We then want to really focus on airlines. Obviously, they'll take a little bit of time to recover and we can focus on them after our national supermarket launch. But I think our product and airlines, it's a really good fit. And we've been talking to most of the major ones, or we were before COVID. And I'll speak a little bit more later about how COVID has impacted us and how actually it's a bit of a blessing in disguise. But there are the rest of our milestones there. The other key ones be doing some proper PR around the new bottle, because all the press we've got so far has been organic and we're very happy about that, but we really want to shout about our story. And then finally, to reduce our costs. We make everything by hand with really high quality products. Now it's incredibly scalable, and the capital is going to allow us to scale even more, but we want to work with some of the best liquid developers in the world, who we have a proposal from and who built some of the brands that are on supermarket shelves all over the country, to make the products as good as they possibly can be. Because everything so far has been done by myself and my co-founder Sam in-house, and we're really excited to work with some of the world's best developers to make the product as good as it possibly can be. Speaking as good as it possibly can be, these are our competitors who aren't. So that you'll see a sort of theme among them that are low ABV, high sugar, lack of provenance of the ingredients. We really admire what Seedlip have done in the top left with a no-grony. They are exactly what we do, but for non-alcoholic. They're beautiful, they have good provenance, they're ready to serve, but they're sort of a single release for them. It's a bit of a, here's what our product can do, and it works really well. But I think there's a bigger market out there, especially for alcoholic cocktails. So how are we going to grow and what are we going to do with the capital? So we need to grow the brand, we need to talk about ourselves and sell our story really well. And we need to make sure that story is as good as it possibly can be and as authentic as it can be. So we're going to work with one of the best agencies in London to develop really strong brand identity. And that's a really attractive thing when the likes of Diageo or Pernod Ricard come along looking to purchase you in 5 to 7 years, that you have a good, strong brand story that they can simply purchase. Then there's the product. We need to make sure it's competitive in terms of price against mid-tier gin. So we're looking to release the sharing bottle around the £25 mark, but we need to make sure it is bulletproof, that it tastes as good as it can, it lasts as long as it can, and it's just the best it possibly can be. So we're going to work with a really good liquid development team, as I mentioned earlier. And then there's the communication. We've got the PR agency ready on standby, who understand the product, understand the story, and it's time to shout about it. And the capital that we're raising is going to allow us to do that better than we ever have done before. So how are we going to spend it? We're going to spend it on making more stock, sorting the brand and making it as strong as it possibly can be, marketing that brand with good PR, and commercializing the product, all of which I mentioned earlier. Then there's the current climate. It's a bit of an elephant in the room, but I should explain how it's affected us. So we're very fortunate. Before COVID, we were focusing a lot on really great hotels. We were also looking at our first cinema launch. Now those have been put on hold, obviously, and we managed in the first 2 weeks to pivot to online. So our online sales were good, but they weren't anything to write home about before COVID. We took a lot of time and effort into making them as good as possible. And now all of our online accounts have more than tripled. And the ones that are retail, the shops that are open that sell us have more than doubled in their orders. So the likes of Dalesford and Eat 17 are ordering far more regularly than they ever have before. And then there's Amazon, the real behemoth during COVID. From about £1,500 a month, we've increased it to 12k of sales monthly on Amazon, and that, as you can, I'm sure, can understand, is a huge has had a huge impact on our business. It means that more people than ever have seen our brand, more people than ever are trying it and talking about it on social media, which means our social media has gone really, really well. But I think it's important to remember that we need to have a long-term strategy, and launching the 500ml bottle into a national supermarket is going to allow the industries like airlines, cinemas, hotels to recover, while we really focus on another winner of COVID, which has been FMCG and supermarkets. So I'd like to end with this. It's as simple as it looks. We make our products to be perfect, and we stack ourselves against 5-star hotels. And this was somebody on Instagram who took their first sip, and this was his reaction. And we always have this as a reminder of what we should be aiming to do. So thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully you'll get in touch with Notwix to receive the full deck, and we'll speak very soon. Thank you.